everyone, welcome back to the English Marathon.
I'm Alex, and I'm joined by Maya. Today is day 2 of our 500-day journey. Today we're talking about travel, specifically how to survive the stress and chaos of an international airport.
Oh, Alex, just saying the word airport makes my heart race. Don't get me wrong, I love traveling, but the airport experience? It's a roller coaster. One minute you're excited about your vacation, and the next minute you're sweating because you can't find your boarding pass and there's a line of 200 people behind you.
You aren't alone there, Maya. Even for experienced travelers, airports can be incredibly intimidating. There are so many signs, so many announcements, and everyone always seems to be in a massive hurry.
Exactly. And when you're doing it all in English, which might not be your first language, it's like playing a video game on extreme mode. You have to listen to those muffled announcements over the speakers while trying to explain to security why you have a giant jar of peanut butter in your carry-on.
Well, peanut butter is technically a liquid according to security, so that might be your first mistake. But in all seriousness, today we want to help our listeners move from survival mode to confidence mode. We'll look at the vocabulary you actually need and how to handle those high-pressure situations without losing your cool. So, Maya, tell me, what is the most stressful part of the airport for you? Is it the check-in desk or security?
Definitely security, hands down. There is something about taking off your shoes and belt in public while a stern-looking officer watches you that just feels wrong. I always feel like I've done something illegal even though I'm just carrying a laptop and some socks.
That's a common feeling. It's called security anxiety. But the key here is the language of instructions. Security officers use very specific, direct English. They don't say, "Would you mind terribly if you placed your items in the bin?" They say, "Place all electronics in a separate bin."
Right, it's all imperatives, command words. Remove your shoes, step through the scanner, open your bag. If you aren't prepared for that direct tone, it can feel a bit rude or aggressive.
Exactly. It's not that they are being mean, they are just being efficient. Now, let's talk about a situation that happens to the best of us, the delayed flight.
Don't remind me. I once spent 12 hours in a terminal because of a technical glitch. I felt like I lived there. I almost started naming the pigeons in the rafters.
12 hours is a long time, but this is where your English really matters. You need to talk to the gate agent. You can't just sit there and wait. You need to ask about vouchers, rebooking, or accommodation if the delay is overnight.
This is where I see a lot of people struggle. They know the word late, but they don't know the professional way to ask for their rights. If you go up to the desk and just say, "My plane is late, I am angry," you probably won't get much help.
Spot on. Politeness is a superpower in English, especially when you're complaining. Using phrases like, "I was wondering if," or "Could you please clarify?" will get the staff on your side. If you use indirect questions, people are much more likely to go the extra mile for you.
Go the extra mile. Nice idiom there, Alex. It means to do more than what is expected. And you're right. If you're polite, that gate agent might just find you a seat on a flight that officially looks full.
Now, what about the layover? For some, it's a chance to explore a new city for a few hours. For others, it's a confusing maze of trying to find the transfer desk.
I've definitely been lost in a maze before. I remember being in a massive airport and the signs just said, Concourse A, Concourse B, Concourse C. I was standing there like, I just want a sandwich and my next gate. Where am I?
That's why prepositions of place and directional language are so vital. Understanding the difference between upstairs, adjacent to, opposite, and beyond security can save you from walking 3 miles in the wrong direction.
And let's not forget the baggage claim, the moment of truth. You stand by that rotating belt, watching everyone else's suitcase come out, and you start praying to the travel gods that yours wasn't sent to a different continent.
The rotating belt is actually called a carousel. If your bag doesn't show up, you need to find the lost and found or the baggage service office and file a property irregularity report.
Property irregularity report? That sounds so serious. I'd probably just say, "Hey, you lost my bag."
And that's why we're here, Maya. To move from "you lost my bag" to the professional English that gets results.
All right, Alex, let's dissect some of that airport speak. I used a word earlier that I think everyone knows, but it's worth a deep dive: chaos. I said the airport is chaos.
Great choice. Chaos refers to a state of total confusion and lack of order. In a formal setting, you might hear a gate agent say, "We apologize for the disruption to your travel plans."
Disruption sounds much cleaner than everything is a mess. But then you mentioned imperatives. You said security officers use them.
Right. An imperative is a command form of a verb. For example, sit down, stay behind the line, or show me your passport. In English, we usually add please to be polite, but in high security areas like airports, the please is often dropped for speed and clarity. It's not a personal insult, it's just the language of authority.
Good to know. So I shouldn't take it personally if they don't say please 500 times. Now what about muffled? I said the announcements are muffled.
If a sound is muffled, it means it's not clear. It's quiet or distorted, usually because something is covering the source of the sound, like a bad speaker system. Formally, you could say the announcement was indistinct. If you can't hear it, you can ask a staff member, "Excuse me, I couldn't quite make out that announcement. Was it about the flight to London?"
Make out, another good phrasal verb. It means to hear or understand something with difficulty.
Exactly. And you also mentioned the gate agent.
Yes, the gate agent is the person standing at the desk right where you get on the plane. They are the boss of that gate. If your flight is overbooked, which means the airline sold more tickets than there are seats, the gate agent is the one who decides who stays and who goes.
And in that case, you might hear the word voucher. A voucher is a piece of paper or a digital code that is worth a certain amount of money, usually given as compensation if the airline makes a mistake or if you agree to take a later flight.
I love vouchers, free travel, but I don't love technical glitches. You mentioned that one.
A glitch is a small, sudden problem or fault in a system, usually a computer or a machine. It's a bit less serious than a breakdown, but in an airplane, even a small glitch means nobody is going anywhere until it's fixed. Now, let's put these words into action. Maya, let's imagine a scenario. I am the gate agent, and I've just announced that the flight is overbooked. You really need to get home for a wedding.
Oh, I'm going to be very polite but firm for this one.
Attention passengers on Flight 204 to New York. We are currently overbooked. We are looking for 2 volunteers to take a later flight in exchange for a travel voucher.
Excuse me? Hi, sorry to bother you. I just heard the announcement. I'm on Flight 204.
Yes, ma'am. We have more passengers than seats at the moment. Would you be willing to take the 9 p.m. flight instead?
Oh, I'm afraid that won't work for me. I'm actually traveling for a wedding tomorrow morning, and I can't afford to arrive that late. I was wondering if there are any other options.
I understand. Unfortunately, the system is showing a bit of a technical glitch, and we are still waiting for the final seat count.
I see. If the flight is indeed overbooked and I am bumped from the flight, could you clarify what the compensation policy is? Would the airline provide a hotel voucher if I'm delayed overnight?
Since you put it that way, let me check the adjacent flight at Gate B. There might be 1 seat left on the express flight leaving in 30 minutes.
That would be amazing. I'd really appreciate you going the extra mile for me.
Give me 1 second. Okay, I've managed to rebook you. Here is your new boarding pass.
Thank you so much for your help. Boom. And that, my friends, is how you handle a gate agent. Did you notice how I didn't shout? I used phrases like, I was wondering if, and could you clarify?
It works every time. Politeness is the key to the city, or in this case, the key to the airplane.
So, for your day 2 challenge, imagine you are at the airport and your suitcase has disappeared. Write down 2 sentences you would say to the staff at the baggage service office. Try to use at least 1 word from today, like carousel or property irregularity report.
Post your sentences in the comments. We'll be checking to see who's really paying attention. That's all for today's session of the English Marathon. We hope this helped you get 1 step closer to fluency.
If you enjoyed this, please hit like and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can join us every single day of this marathon. Stay consistent, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 3.
Bye for now. Travel safe.